He was stranded on Venus over 40 years ago. What is left of the Venus probe today? In 1982, a pair of robots, pioneers, set foot in the solar system, a journey in one of the harshest environments. Surface of Venus, the Soviet Union's Venus 13 and 14 probes. It's designed to withstand high enough to melt lead, compatible with the pressure in the depths of the Earth's oceans, and a thick atmosphere full of corrosive acids. This environment can only be described as hellish. Their mission may be brief, but it was groundbreaking. In an unprecedented manner, reveal the true face of Venus. However, after we lost contact, what happened to these robotic explorers? After decades of harsh environmental erosion, what will these detectors look like today? Project Venus. It means Venus in Russian. Many people may not know the Soviet Union was early in NASA's history, photographing Mars before the first picture of the surface. From the surface of Venus to Earth in a few months, sent data and pictures. This was an unprecedented feat at the time. No one can match. Venus 13 and 14, arguably the most successful mission of Project Venus. They're the product of decades of research. It's based on data and trial and error of continual improvement. The two 7-meter-tall detectors, only one purpose, where nothing else can survive. Survive as much as possible. They have to endure unimaginable circumstances. The atmospheric pressure is 92 times that of the Earth, equivalent to pressure nearly a kilometer underwater. Temperature over 460 degrees. It's hotter than the maximum temperature in your oven. In addition, and a suffocating atmosphere of carbon dioxide. In the clouds, under the rot that smells of rotten eggs, erosive sulfuric acid, and low than what humans make. How is it possible in this hellish environment? Survive. Their toughness comes from the advanced materials of their time and some clever engineering. But unfortunately, details about the materials they used to make it, still very few. This could be due to the secrecy of the Soviet era. However, we still found some useful information. The descent lander is a sealed pressure vessel. That means it's completely airtight. It contains most of the equipment and electronics, mounted on a circular landing platform, and the top has an antenna. The sealing pressure capacity of each detector. The device may have several components, bolted and sealed with a gold wire seal. They were covered with insulation and a thin titanium skin. Titanium, renowned for its high strength and corrosion resistance. The inside of the pressure vessel is said to have thermal insulation material, maybe fiberglass, and metal foil multi-layer structure. Stainless steel components may support the interior, resist tremendous pressure, protecting the scientific instruments and electronics inside. Precious metals such as gold and foil, due to its excellent corrosion resistance and electrical conductivity. It may be used for critical components and connectors. It can also be used for electrical wiring. And the camera is made of thick quartz, pressure window lock protection, plus an ingenious cooling system. Photographic material absorbs heat through melting. This will delay the overheating of the detector. Venus 13 and the 14th successfully completed their mission. However, even with these sturdy materials, with some clever engineering, ultimately, it is difficult to resist the ruthless environment of Venus. On Earth, materials can be found in wonders, respond to the environment. Deep in the ocean, ships slowly corrode, steel eroded by seawater, and marine life, turning them into beautiful artificial reefs under the sea. In the arid desert, sunlight and bee syrup, metal and rock are carved into bizarre weathered shapes. But Venus is not Earth. The reaction is faster there, stranger and more destructive. Venus 13 lands first. landed on March 1st, 1982, and Venus 14 landed just 4 days later. Once it reaches the surface, they ushered in the famously hot temperature of Venus. Huge pressure and toxic atmosphere. It's incredible. We can use the pictures they take. See the detector and its surroundings. These pictures, it was taken shortly after they landed. Every picture, all reveal a desolate volcanic landscape. Rocks are scattered across the fractured surface by the thick toxic clouds above, shrouded in a strange yellow light filtered out. These are all time, the first image taken from the surface of Venus. It is also the only color photo. We can even listen to their environment, because they also recorded this hellish environmental sounds passing over the surface of Venus, the faint and gloomy sound of the wind. However, although their surroundings are amazing, but the harsh conditions will soon begin to erode the exposed surface of the detector. The pressure is 92 times that of the Earth, will be ruthlessly squeezed. It's like a car on every square centimeter of their body. But at that moment, the probe still holds up. It's taking a lot longer than expected. Venus 13, in 127 minutes, sent the final signal. And Venus 14 under the same conditions. It lasted less than an hour. And there was silence. Although their signal is interrupted, it's not just the bad conditions. More likely, because of orbiting spacecraft. That's the repeater that sends the signal back to Earth, out of signal coverage. They just lost touch with each other. However, after losing contact, Venus will still continue to erode the probe. The external heat will be intense. Once the cooling system fails, the temperature inside the container will rise sharply. For wiring, seal, or the polymer material of the electric coil may be scorched and gasify within hours of the probe losing contact. The outside atmosphere is likely to have entered the container. Dioxide, tumor, and other acidic gases will pour into the interior. Corrosion disease oxidizes metal parts inside, completely destroyed the detector. In the coming weeks, months, or even years, Tehi's steel frame may become soft. Corrosive sulfur compounds. It will eventually seep into every crevice. Erosion of once smooth surfaces form dark scars. Now more than 40 years have passed. The wreckage of Venus 13 and 14. How exactly remains a mystery. The surface of Venus is obscured by a thick layer of gas. We can't see what's going on in their area. However, they must be nothing more than a barren planet on Venus. Silent sentinel on the plains. Their once smooth metallic luster is long gone. Maybe wrapped in layers of oxide and dust. Their structure, maybe even partially, when sending pictures back with them, the volcanic terrain is seen blends together. Precious metals may still exist today. And in some places, it's barely visible. In the dimming and burning of less durable materials, in the scorched wreckage shimmering. Now, the detector is likely to, like ancient corroded artifacts, darkened by chemical reactions and carved into the harsh environment of Venus. Maybe it's also dotted with yellow dust deposits. However, even though they are no longer complete, but their story continues. Venus 13 and 14 detector, it's being talked about more than ever. Of course, they've been through a lot by now, but on a planet devoid of life, they are still standing. Become a human to explore the unknown world, curiosity's great endeavor. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the channel to leave a message for discussion.